Hello everyone, welcome to this video, XOR query of subarrays. So basically here you have as input an array of elements. You're supposed to compute the XOR operator of element from the beginning of the query to the end of the query. As simple as that. So let's say you receive this, you have a 0, 1. So you need to apply the XOR operator of element at position 0 and element at position 1. This one is 1 and 2. So it is XOR operation at 1 and operation and 2, and this one is from 0 to 3. So you apply the XOR operation for element 0, 1, 2, and 3. So basically, described as this is actually an easy problem where you can just moving from the beginning to the end and apply the XOR operation. But if you do so, you are going to find yourself in time limit for sure, because the array.length and the query.length is actually around 3 times 10 power 4. So if you want to go with it n square, you are going to find yourself in time limit. So what can we do instead to have something efficient which is working? So from this, I'm aware of an approach which is called prefix sum. So I'm going to try a live coding using the prefix sum and see what it will give. Let me share with you first my approach. Let's say I have an array like this. Right? And then I have A, B, C, G, E. Let me even complete here with E. Let me have it here like this. So this is my array. Let me have now a prefix sum. So we are going to call it maybe prefix XOR. So the prefix XOR will be, the first one is going to be A. The second one is going to be A XOR B. The third one is going to be A XOR B XOR C. You will understand why I need this. This one is going to be A XOR B XOR C XOR G. Writing is really weird, but anyway, it's working, so let's go with that. This one is going to be A XOR B XOR C XOR G and XOR E. Okay, so now that I have this, what will be my approach of solving this? If I want to find the XOR operation from let me use different things. If I want to find the XOR operation from element at position X to Y, right? If X is actually equal to 0, so I just need to find the XOR I just need to return the XOR operator at position Y. Why am I saying that? If I want the XOR operator from 0 till 2, I just need to return this, because this is actually the XOR from 0, because we already have it here. But what is now interesting is how to compute the XOR operation from maybe 1 to this is 0, 1 to from 2 to let's say 4. If you want to compute the XOR operation from 2 to 4, in reality, what you will have is actually at 2 you have C. So what you will have is actually C XOR G XOR E. That is what this is what you need to, this is what the answer should look like. But we can use the prefix sum to have that in constant time operation. How are we going to do so? We are going to say, now you're going to understand why we treat the one with starting with 0 differently. Why? Because you're just going to say prefix sum of actually the n, which is 4, XOR prefix sum of the start 2 minus 1. Why are you saying that? Because the prefix sum of 2 minus 1 is actually the prefix sum of all of the elements you don't want to include in the prefix sum of the range 2 to 4. And then if you take this and then you XOR this with the value of this guy, is going to remove all of the elements in this guy that are actually before the starting position. As simple as that. Why? Because if you take this observation, A XOR A is actually equal to 0. That means this will actually be equal to A XOR B XOR C XOR G, XOR E XOR what? XOR P of 1, XOR A and B, XOR A XOR B. And then you know that A XOR A is actually equal to 0. So this one is going to be erased with this one. Maybe I should use a different color for the erase. This one is going to be erased with this one. And this one is going to be erased with this one. So at the end, you are going to have CGE, which is CGE. As simple as that. So since we are taking the element of -1, if it's actually 0, we cannot have -1, and it's actually good because if it's 0, you just return the element at that position. Otherwise, you return the element at the end XOR the prefix sum of the -1. So how are we going to code that? So for us to code that, we first need to have this guy, the prefix, the array of prefix sum. So I'm going to have like a vector of int that I'm going to say prefix sum. That is going to I'm just going to start, no, I'm going to have all of the element. He needs to have the size of the previous array, and I can start all of the element at r.0. You can do everything you want. I'm starting at r.0 because I'm now going to erase, because I'm going to erase from 1 to the end. So feel free to use the one you're more comfortable with. So now here I need now to complete my array by saying for int I moving from 0, I is less dot r dot size I plus plus, and like I said, I'm not starting at 0 but at 1, and here I'm just gonna say prefix sum of I with the prefix sum of I minus 1 XOR r of I. So after this, I have this array of prefix sum being defined. Now I just need to complete the rest of the logic that I just mentioned here. The first thing should be something like if, no, I need to loop inside a query first. For I can say vector of int query of queries, and then inside here I just need to say if query of 0, no, yeah, query of 0. So we just say if the query of 0, the first one, is actually equal to 0, we just return query of 1. So if query of 0 is actually equal to 0, what we're gonna say, we are returning an array of vector, so you need to have something like vector of int here that we're gonna say result, and here we're going to return our result here. So here we're gonna say result that push back of what are we pushing? We are just pushing prefix sum of query of 1. That is what we say, yeah. And else we are just going to say result dot pushback of, this may be long, we're going to say prefix sum of query of 1, yes, minus prefix sum, I'll just copy minus prefix sum of query of 0 minus 1, the one previous. Yeah, I think this is actually implementation of what we just described. So we are first creating our array of prefix sum. It's just because I've been used to call it prefix sum that I'm calling prefix sum, but you can call it prefix XOR if you want, because it's a prefix of the XOR. But you got the idea. And then now you are looping here to construct your array of prefix XOR, and then now you create what you're gonna have as a result here, and now you loop through the element. You have your edge case, that means if it's 0, if the first element is 0, then you're just gonna return the prefix sum, the prefix XOR at the position of the end. This is what we are doing here. Under else, you are returning the prefix XOR of the ending minus the prefix XOR of the element before the starting. Let us run. Okay, we have a wrong answer. Okay, this is 5, not good. Am I missing something? This is not minus, this is all. You see, the prefix sum, prefix or make me confuse things. Okay, working. Perfect, it's working. So this was my approach of solving this. I hope you do enjoy it. Feel free to give me any input. I'll be really happy to interact with you regarding this. See you tomorrow for a new challenge. Ciao.